In the heart of Turkey, nestled within the surreal landscapes of Cappadocia, lay a small, quiet village known as Güzelyurt, famous for its fairy chimneys, ancient cave dwellings, and underground cities. Güzelyurt was a place where history whispered through the rocks and legends were born. Tourists came and went, enchanted by the beauty and mystique, but few stayed long enough to uncover the darker secrets buried beneath its picturesque facade. Among the villagers, there was a lingering story that few dared to recount. It was said that deep within the labyrinthine tunnels of one of the underground cities, a malevolent spirit resided, a spirit born from a gruesome murder that had stained the village's history. Many years ago, when Güzelyurt was but a fledgling village, a prosperous merchant named Ahmet lived there with his beautiful wife, Leyla. They were well loved by the community for their generosity and kindness. However, envy and greed often lurk in the shadows of prosperity. One cold winter night, as the village lay silent under a blanket of snow, a tragedy unfolded in the depths of the merchant's home. Ahmet was brutally murdered, his body found mutilated beyond recognition. Leyla, covered in his blood, was discovered in a state of hysteria, claiming that shadowy figures had invaded their home and committed the heinous act. The villagers, unable to comprehend such horror, dismissed her claims as the ramblings of a grief-stricken widow. Leyla, overwhelmed by sorrow and madness, took her own life a few days later, hanging herself from a beam in their home. Her spirit, it was said, never left Güzelyurt. Years turned into decades, and the tale of Ahmet and Leyla became a ghost story to frighten children. But in the winter of 2024, the legend resurfaced with a vengeance. Tourists visiting the underground city began to report strange occurrences, whispers in the dark, cold breaths on their necks, and glimpses of a ghostly woman weeping in the shadows. One night, a group of explorers, driven by curiosity and a thirst for the supernatural, decided to spend the night in the depths of the underground city. Among them was Emma, a historian fascinated by the legends of Cappadocia. Armed with cameras and recording devices, they ventured into the labyrinth, determined to capture proof of the paranormal. As midnight approached, the air grew colder, and an oppressive silence filled the tunnels. The group, huddled around a small campfire, began to hear faint whispers echoing through the stone corridors. The whispers grew louder, morphing into anguished cries and pleas for help. Suddenly, the flames of their fire flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. Emma, clutching her flashlight, caught a glimpse of a figure at the edge of the light, a woman with long, dark hair, her eyes hollow and filled with sorrow. The apparition moved closer, her form becoming clearer. It was Leyla, her face twisted in anguish, her hands stained with blood. Panic set in as the explorers tried to flee, but the tunnels seemed to twist and turn, trapping them in a never-ending maze. Emma's camera, still recording, captured the terror that unfolded. One by one, the group members vanished into the darkness, their screams echoing in the cold stone chambers. Hours later, Emma emerged from the underground city. Disheveled and traumatized, she had managed to find her way out by following the faint light of dawn filtering through a crack in the rock. Her camera, clutched tightly in her hands, was the only evidence of the night's horrors. When the villagers found her, they saw the fear in her eyes and the blood that stained her clothes. Emma's footage, when reviewed, revealed the ghostly figure of Leyla and the terrifying fate of her friends.